Hey everybody, so we're actually in a 2018 Elantra GT Sport, and we're trying to take the head unit out of the vehicle for replacement, and we're actually trying to install a subwoofer and steal some of the wires in the background. So couldn't find anything on how to do it, so we experimented and figured it out. We're going to show the rebuild, so hopefully some of you guys can use this in the future to either replace your head unit, or if you're trying to install a subwoofer or something like that, you can also come in and steal the wires from the back of this. This is actually the hardest part probably of the entire build to do, because it's really weird construction. So you'll see when I put it back in, but it's got these two hinges right here. So you kind of throw it in behind, offset, and then it slides in this direction. And there's just clips on the bottom. So you'll hear me clip it in, but to take it off, what you're going to do is just kind of get close to the head unit with like a flathead, or if you have a spudger, for instance, those are really good, and kind of start popping it up like a hinge to lift it off, and then you slide it to the left and it'll open up. So to start the entire process from this side, to get to the bottom screws, you actually need to pop this panel open. It's easiest to do with glove box open. You're just going to give it a nice good firm yank in the middle to be able to pull it out. Don't pull it all the way because it's on hinges on the very back, but there are these clips that'll come out. Once you have the clips out a little bit, you can access the screw you need to access. So what you're going to do next is you're actually going to make sure you take this screw all the way out. Once you do that, you can actually start the process of slowly popping this off. It's easiest to do with the glove box open. Get your fingers underneath it and get it to start popping across. So this is actually the most difficult part of the removal, is removing this entire panel. So to remove this panel, you're actually going to notice that down here there's a little bit of a hook, and you can see the hook on the bottom of this piece right here. So that's going to hook around this panel, and then you're going to make sure you have your plug-in, obviously. So when it's hooked around, you can hear it popping in, and what you do is, starting from this far right side, you're just going to pull it out after removing the screw and slowly pop it all the way across till you get to that final piece, and then you're going to turn it and lift it to get it off of that hook. So the next thing you're going to do is you're actually going to take off this panel right here. So there's going to be two screws here and here. Make sure you take both of those screws out, and then there's actually clips holding it in. So you're going to give it a nice good yank from the corners. You'll hear the clips pop. When you pull it out, I don't have it plugged in right now, but when you pull it out, there's going to be a cable right here. So be very careful you don't pull that cable. That's the cable for your blinkers.
Somehow we forgot to record the actual movement of the screws on the head unit. So here's a couple photos illustrating where the 4 screws that are actually holding the head unit in the car are.
So when you're actually taking the unit out of the car, you have to be careful because there is clips on the back of where the screws go. So you have to pick the whole unit up, and then you can slide, and then you can actually access all of the wires in the back. So here are those 2 clips that I was referencing.